Okay. Okay, we're live. Okay. Good morning, market. It's opening in less than 1 minute. Had some had some technical issues this morning. Okay, guys. Main focus today is going to be some of these tech runs that are setting up here. We got 15 seconds until the open here. I might replace Hims with Fly because Fly had a nice gap up, and so I kind of want to see if Hims can like reclaim yesterday's highs and maybe get a pop through this. Probably easier to just see if we break this trend line here. So we're coming to the open. That initial down move on Apple is really interesting. I might have to do a quick cut there because I actually have some runners from yesterday. Tesla getting a nice reaction here. It's a great turn from Apple, actually. So that sell-off actually ended up being a nice reset. If we can actually get a continuation over previous day's highs. We just really wanted over 295. Strong move. MBIS getting a strong move. I just want a little bit more time. I don't like other 15 minutes rolling over, but it can get an extension from here. Especially if it back tests. A lot of weakness to start the morning, quite honestly. We need a few alerts here. Let me take some peeks at some of these. That's a terrible move from CEG, man. Terrible move. Christopher setting up here. Terrible move. All right, Apple over that previous day's high. These MBIS contracts are so expensive. Apple actually getting a nice move here. Nice move here. I really want to see if Apple can get a nice continuation. I think right here I'm actually going to take a partial for 25%. Because I had some end of the week contracts. Yeah, so I actually ended up getting 35% on those. Really nice. 300 is the target on Apple. This is an all-time high break. Looking really good. Okay, here's where I want to try some fly. Watch Oracle in this pre-market too. I'm looking to buy. Oh God, flies contracts are awful. Jeez. What do you want to do with this? These spreads are awful. Not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume at all. I'll tell you what. I might just play fly small because I want to put something on because the setup is really good, but it depends on if they can fill me at a reasonable price here because these spreads are really wide. I think I'm not getting filled at anything reasonable. I might just let that one pass and wait till those contracts clean up a bit. GS getting a pullback that I don't like, but it's still pulling back. It's still just pulling back into yesterday's price action. 65-minute is rolling over. NVIDIA is breaking the pre-market high, getting a nice continuation here. Apple up 54% here. I think I'm hands off on NBIS. This might set up later in the day. So let's set alert here. I need to keep an eye on CEG because I try to dip by here. This thing is just... It even got an upgrade this morning, but it's just plunging through the key support, so I need to cut all of this. And I need to try to salvage as much as I can. Honestly, in the swings I bought yesterday, it's not bad. What a turd. Just because we're cutting this, though, does not mean that this idea is dead. I would keep a... Because uranium as a whole has a beautiful setup that could break out soon. You know, if we watch like URA, I see it's taking a dip this morning, but actually looks like an ugly head and shoulders here, but would be the bearish take. But the bullish take is that this is clearly like a triangle setup, right, on a longer time frame, because this is the daily chart. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on, without a doubt. All right, up 63% on Apple here. I'm going to close the rest of this, and I'm going to look for rolls. SPY testing that pre-market low here. This will be the after hours low. Some weakness here this morning. Let's exchange fly for... So SNDK and MU gapped up, another puke in it. Let's watch the 5-minute here in Apple. Getting all the signals from Apple, that we might get a nice continuation here. It's acting very differently than it did yesterday. Or it was just kind of consolidating. Now we're getting that nice pop and continuation here. Look at the small caps here. We're kind of getting that 15, 65-minute flip on small caps, honestly. $15 minutes bearish, 65 minutes rolling over here. We might have another day of weakness. Tell me what's moving today. Okay, get Meta up here. Meta might be setting up a short. I'm surprised that GS isn't catching bids because when I look over here, actually financials are pretty weak. But I'm seeing safety catch some bids here. You don't want to see that rotation. We want to see tech lead the way higher. Major support here from the SPY. QQQ showing the relative strength here. IWM might set up a short. IWM tried the full recovery yesterday, but it couldn't do it like SPY did. But a lot of weakness here. Oracle almost set up, had a really nice setup. If we could have gotten a pop over that pre-market high, that would have been really nice. I actually don't like the way Oracle looks right here. The 60 minutes, 5 minutes, fine. I'm up 20% on some 240 calls for July in Oracle. And I'm going to try to continue to hold these. Still green on my Goldman Sachs swings. Let's see if this thing can catch some support here soon. It doesn't look great though. I'm not going to add here by any means. Meta kind of setting up here. SPY stopped that low. If you're trading futures along here, it can pay well. We're about to set up our orb here. If Apple pukes here, it's a ugly evening star. But if it defends the 295, if it defends the previous day's highs, I'm going to look to roll. I don't see much, guys. I was looking at I'm looking at the scanner here. Let's kind of expand our watch list here. Marvel just on a crazy run here. Empty puking. And the daily's starting to roll over. 4 hour and 65-minute rolling over in tandem. It's still not a high grade short setup though. I would need a lower low. Intel kind of interesting trend line here. You know, really weak bounce yesterday, and it looks like it actually broke this, and it's getting a continuation lower. Let's see if we have that. So I don't yet have that strong alignment for downside yet. To try some more puts here. Ugly evening star, yeah. I might take a small trade here. I'm gonna buy the 111s and see if it fills. See if it fills that gap. I'll buy a small position. From here, a reclaim of 121 would be the stop. But I'll try this short here and see if I could get a continuation, especially since the market week. Actually, with this market being this week, I might just go ahead and say, give me my profits in my Oracle swing because we're breaking the pre-market here. If it reclaims, I'll take some shorter dated contracts. So I went ahead and took 17% on Oracle here. I'm not looking to be very patient with positions. Not when the market's behaving like this and looks like it wants to puke. Unless I have lotto sizing, I'm going to start cutting stuff. Or unless it has lots of time. GS is recovering up 32% from those calls I bought yesterday. Meta puked up that move. NVIDIA puked up that move. That long failed horribly. Looked like it was trying to get that breakout. Now we're getting the 1 minute flip, so we could get a bit of a plunge here. So as soon as this broke through the low of the orb, you got to get short. You know, you got to flip. Apple kind of giving up the move here. The small Intel positions up 9% here. Meta on watch. Meta's really difficult trade, but if it gets below 592, it could take a big plunge. Here's the back test of the support for Apple. Market's still in a bullish position here on longer time frames, but this is the back test of the orb. So this back test fails, we can get a continuation of the selling. I'm still going to be watching to see if Apple defends here. 15-minute flip bearish for MU. 65 minutes about to lose. It's bullish. Setup. I don't know, man. I might be looking to short MU here, quite honestly. I'm seeing emerging markets getting bids here today. Oh my gosh. Huge offsides move from Baba. 15-minute about to flip and 65-minute about to give the confirmation. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I love these offside plays. Failed breakdowns turned to great bullish trades. Baba is extremely difficult to play, though. This thing could be a turd. But you know what? I might play in the mud. I'm looking at 150s for next week. Big open interest. Big open interest on the 160s as well, if you want to play it as like a lotto. I'm gonna give this a shot. Small starter position. I'm in at 212 at the 150s. Looks like you get in a little bit cheaper. These are moving pretty wildly. It is pretty extended right here, but we just filled this gap back to the upside. Over 143, this trade can set up really beautifully. I really like the confluence. So it's running a bit hot, but I really like the confluence. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, that reset my brain. That was violent. Violent sneeze. Let's get Baba here over Tesla. Actually, let's set our Tesla alert over that pre-market high just in case it does a full recovery, because Tesla's just Tesla. It can do that. It can do wild things. Okay. Let's look. We're already up 16% on Baba. I mean, this thing is just moving. You could take a partial here. I think I'm going to set my partial at 2.7. Get a little greedy. The setup's so good, I want to get a little greedy. I may even adjust to 2.8. Get a little bit more greedy. You could just lock in some here, though. Not a bad idea to just go ahead and lock in some here because, look, our support is at 134. The thing that's making me greedy is we're getting this setup here. So if you flip that 65-minute, I mean, this thing can rocket ship. Especially after you get that bad earnings, and then this thing, actually, it didn't even sweep the lows, man. That's actually a very, very surprising setup. I was just looking at these yesterday. But I saw on the day that, everything else is kind of drifting lower here, except for EEM. So there might be some other Chinese names to take a look at here, but I want to kind of just do a review of these here. Contracts are at 2.7, up 30% here. Okay, I'm gonna look to actually take that 2.7. Okay, that's a nice 27% on Baba right there. We got something on the board. Give thanks to the market. Always give thanks to the market. All right. Let's see. Well, we could have gotten the 2-8, dude. I should have stuck to my guns and said no. I want 2-8 because they're at. You could probably get a 2-8 easy right here. Should have stuck to my guns. Wow, what a move! What a move! Those offside plays really great when they happen, man. Let's take a peek at CEG. Oh my God, just full blown capitulation. Pain and misery. Irene reclaiming key level here. Hims oversold here. I don't know. With market still looking kind of weak on the day, I'm not looking to buy the Hims dip yet, but I will. I'll buy it with size. 143, big key level on Baba here, by the way. We're up big. We're up 41% here. Let's see if I can get the 300 exit. On the rest of the position. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the fill. It's doing a little bit of a retrace here. But again, that 15-minute looks great. I might even cancel that order and say, wait a second, I should be a bit patient because the setup's just now getting good. So I actually should be looking to roll it out and stick with it. So failed breakdown on SPY so far, but the 15 minutes still doesn't look great at all. 5 minutes kind of getting rejection here, but it did defend the orb. This can also turn into offsides. NVIDIA, a nice reclaim of the pre-market structure, kind of swept the lows. So if you can get this flipping over, you might be able to look for we might be able to look for a nice continuation play, right? Okay, Apple back testing and holding. I sold those apples for 181 on their 130. I might be looking to roll here for the 300s end of the week. Let's try a roll. I got filled at 132. Stop would be the low of this candle. Ride it tight. I want to see if it'll pop to new highs. 300 is the target. All right. Okay. Let's see if we get 3-3 on Baba. And then as we, yep, we got the 3-3 exit. Let's go. Let's go, guys. 55% right there on Baba. Not bad, not bad, not bad. We're coming up to this resistance. So if we pop over this, I'll roll. I'll roll and I'll stick to it. Let's take a peek at some other Chinese names. Oh, look at NIO. Wow. Wait, China catching some big bids. JD. Oh, wow. Baidu. Oh, wow. What happened? Baidu. If weekly looks good, this might be a nice swing. We got a nice like cup and handle structure. Look at that. Look at that nice cup and handle structure. You see it? You see it? You see it? You got the cup, and then you got this nice bull flag that's about to break this key level right here. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. And we got supportive. Oh man, I don't like this. We got earnings coming up, but we might catch that breakout before the earnings potentially. Hmm. 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 I think I'll wait one more day before I set up the swing there. I just want to see, is this a headline pop or is this a move real? I mean, what we can actually do since everything's moving so well. Oh, look at FX. All right, let's buy this. Let's set up something here. I'm going to order some orange chicken tonight. Let's see here. Give man a fill. I can't get my fill. I'm trying to buy the July 40 calls for FXI here. Just to kind of simplify the idea. I got filled at 7. If you're a little bit more patient, you might be able to get a little bit better fill. Okay, Apple backtested that previous highs, holding it. Meta, this is an offsides one, dude. This thing's breaking out now. It just set a higher low. Okay, I don't know what that was. It just set a higher low. Okay, Baba's hit that level. We might roll this. Let's look at the bigger idea here. This is huge resistance, man. I think I need to wait for it to actually break it. Oh, this could do wild things. Might need to cut Apple here soon, but it's fine. Spy's doing a nice recovery, but I would much prefer to see like Nvidia leading the way, or MU getting a nice recovery. Like MU might be setting up a short here, quite honestly. You see, it tried that pre-market. You see, it tried that pre-market consolidation area and got a fat rejection. The candle went from green to red. So we might want to watch that under the low of the day. Like Spice tried to catch a bounce, but Meta's leading the way. That's a head scratcher. Baba broke it. Baba broke it. Man, it's Wednesday. So, why does that matter? That matters because we got 2 extra days to try some end of the week lottos. Let's roll some. I'm going to roll some profits to the 155s. I'm just going to take a lotto for 155 end of the week. Because this is such a major key level. I mean, this is where people should be kind of FOMOing in, quite honestly. And then I really like to see what I would really give me some wet daydreams is if we get like a pop to like 150 and then we come back test 144, and that back test would be where I want to buy to look for the continuation. I could easily not be being patient enough, so that's why I only took a small position. And I'm just playing it as a lotto. Probably I pop to 150 and I'm out. Because the premiums are juiced. They're juiced. That is there meta news that I missed? Santa Clara County sued Meta Platforms alleging its ad system let scam ads run. True, I've seen those. They're cooked on that. Meta doesn't even have like good exposure to China. China running like this makes you wonder. I think I want to look at LLY. LLY did get the breakout. Now it's back testing it. I don't like the setup though. I wonder if MVO has a better. No. mRNA. Let's look at Costco. Wow. Wow. We actually don't want to see that. Although I am a Costco shareholder. Walmart here getting a breakout. Like we don't want to see this stuff get a breakout. We want to see tech lead the way. Goldman Sachs getting a nice full recovery here. Oh my God, even if I want to buy end of week on Goldman Sachs, I got to pay a fortune. Small fortune. I think what we need to watch is MU here. Let's watch MU here. MU. try MU here. I bought the 710s for the end of this week at $6 each. It's expensive. It's not for small accounts. But I want to see if, because we're right, we can run this with a pretty tight stop though. The market's trying a recovery here. And I should actually swap this for Intel because we have that Intel short on. Let's move to the 15-minute chart. And let's take a look at those. They're up 11%. I'll set one partial on Intel at 1.17. Goldman Sachs up 34% here. Is MU getting the fall through to the downside. MU biggest position of the day so far. We got that 1.7 partial on Intel here. We got $2 more to the downside potentially. So that was 23% on Intel right there. Let's set another partial at $2. $2. Yeah, Baba catching some rejection here, but I'm going to leave that lotto on because it is small. MU kind of working here. This is kind of where I want my focus to be. Apple playing games. 50 hasn't rolled over. I am getting the 10-minute cut signal, but I'll wait for it to actually take out this key level before I cut it. We're down 12% on a small position there, but we locked in like up to 80% this morning, or 77 or whatever it was. We'll see if we get a recovery. I'm setting that other Intel partial for if we test the previous day's lows. And then through the low of yesterday, we could see the acceleration to that 111 target. And I'm pretty sure I bought end of the week. I might have wanted to take it down to a runner here as it tests like the after hours low. But we'll see how it pans out. Market is trying to get a nice recovery here. Our Apple came right back to us. I mean, the fact that Baba is not puking up this move is crazy strong. Chinese stocks don't like to behave like very well like this. So that's a vote of confidence from the market that it really wants to be on this move. Let's look at TMTX. I got an alert there. My gosh. This is a short setup for someone, but not me. I'm not really looking to chase that continuation. All right. Meta giving up the move as it should because it's a turn. And let's take a look at Tesla because we're getting this alert that Tesla's over that pre-market. I mentioned this earlier. Tesla can just do that. Without the SPY even like flipping green, here's Tesla giving the finger to the market. It's still got a bit more to do before this turns into like a high quality setup. But I like it. Just glancing at some stuff. I don't. Senior entries. Okay, Goldman Sachs going for it, up 42%. FXI is already up 13%, by the way. So even though Baba seems to have paused, this seems to keep wanting to run. Now the question is, can I actually get a partial here? Let's see if we can take just a small. I'm taking 1/10 off. And I'm trying to see if I can get an exit at 8.2. I'm just looking to see if we're actually up this amount or if, I'm trying to see what the liquidity is. I'm adjusting it to 8. So it's not there yet. It's not there yet. Oh, we're just going to fill. So that was 15% partial right there. Actually, my bot is correcting me to say that was actually a 14.29% partial. We're up 50% on Goldman Sachs here. I might have should have bought those into weeks. I'm still in MU. I am watching MU. I am watching it. I'm still not in a panic mode over it yet. If I had the 30-minute looking like it was going to turn, it still can turn, but if I had it looking like it was going to turn on SPY, I would be interested in maybe some XPX daily calls. But I actually don't like it right here. I also don't even like the way that the volume is dying on NVIDIA, even though it's trying to kind of break out of this trend line. I don't even think this trend line. I think this trend line is actually getting invalidated right now. Let's see how it actually acts into this area consolidation, the pre-market high. SPY getting a denial at the EMA convergence. Intel tried to do some accumulation, trying to get a bounce, but it's not doing it. MU almost was a stop, but it's getting a rejection here. As the market turns, this candle going green to red would be beautiful. I would like to see it actually accelerate to the downside here. Papa just hovering here. It's wild. Wow. Kind of kicking myself for not taking some more size on that one when I saw that reaction. I wish I caught it sooner. It's just a crazy offsides move. But those are some of my favorites. This market is. I'm going to take a look at bull here. Man, almost broke the downside. I have smaller shorter term position that I might be having to cut here. That's on the 21st. So this might run next week. If this becomes a failed breakdown, it can do a really nice recovery though. Okay, I might be looking to exit MU here and reset. As it tests like this key level here on that pre-market low. That's kind of what I'm eyeing here. I'll just quickly look at the 15-minute and 30-minute here and see if I can find convictions to hold it. So it's like defending that 65-minute support here. The market as a whole isn't doing a good job of providing convictions though. And I don't even love how the Goldman Sachs structure looks. If Goldman Sachs backtests and catches a bid, I might be getting into that. We'll see if the SPY 10 minute is showing me signs of a recovery. It's really not. All right, SPY is not testing this trend line. I'm trying to be super patient here. I think market's in a tougher spot right here. Goldman Sachs though is about to flip the 30-minute and give the confirmations as it comes in test this like 250 again. $800 tests from MU here is this is about to stop me. MBIS starting to set up as well. It did a full recovery here. Okay, Goldman Sachs over key level here. We're up 92% on Goldman Sachs. We're up 14% on FXI. All right, I gotta stop him you here. On to the next trade. I'm gonna try to get out at 445. Stops. Got my exit there. Okay. Big recovery here. Big up. Yeah, we're up. Yeah, pretty much up 100% on GS. I'm still holding GS. I don't. There's no real reason to cut it. It never took me in the red on the swings I bought from yesterday. NBIS is playing out a bull flag right here. I just hate how the contracts are priced. But I mean, this thing looks like it could get a popped a new high. I also just don't like how there's no confluence here. Goldman Sachs getting the breakout. Baba still hovering around the highs. Look at the way the EMA is catching up to Baba, man. I mean, it looks beautiful. Tesla over 440. This is now the setup for a lotto. I think with Tesla, I have a lotto, and I think I look to add. I mean, it's actually giving this breakout right now. Maybe we'll watch this trend line though. For those next week contracts I have on Goldman Sachs, I have the 1,000 calls for next week that I want to continue to sit in. I'm actually going to point this out to Discord because this is actually part of our trade challenge. I can't shake the feeling that MU is a good short still, because look, we really should not see Goldman Sachs leading the way higher, and Nvidia failing this pre-market area here. But I also have to be aware that SPY looks like it wants to break out. Q also showing signs of a flip here. It's still got to climb over this area of consolidation. IWM might be a good short here, actually, if it fails this area. So if IWM kind of comes back and fails this 280, I think is going to be confirmation that I should look for a short there. Okay, Tesla coming up to an area of resistance here. Intel's just back testing to bearish EMA. We have the stop at 121 here. We did like in a partial. FXI continuing to look good here. Just based on how the contracts are priced. Has some size there. Baba, as it consolidates, is kind of killing premiums, but looking good. Bull doing a nice job of recovering that failed breakdown too. I do like the way that that's looking. So the weekly is about to flip on Goldman Sachs. 2 day, and okay, the 1 day actually just flipped. So now this looks like a beautiful cup and handle. You see that? The video failing this. Look at her out. Look at her out. Apple is trying its hardest to hold this level. It's trying so hard. Up 150% on Goldman Sachs here. Still holding. 162%. These are moving beautifully. So if you're watching but you're not in the Discord, right now the best trade of the month to beat is a 360% return on Tesla from one of our members. I got to have a bit of a morning star on, or evening star on Baba here. If we dip back to 139 and defend, I'll buy calls for next week. I like the way that Tesla's getting the breakout here. Confirmation. NVIDIA is still holding support, but it doesn't look amazing. MU squeezing back to the upside. We're about to get the flip on the 65-minute for SPX. Look at this big exhaustion candle here, honestly. We actually have a 65 15-minute alignment on Tesla. Hold up here. Hold up here. When we have that kind of alignment, dips should be aggressively bought here. So we're getting this little minor dip. I'm gonna be patient. But I want in. The only question I have here is whether I want to buy the end of next week, or I guess I could buy some Mondays. See, that would be delta implied volatility. These are still trading pretty cheap for Tesla, actually. 474, 65. Supposed to be at 435. What is the price of the end of week contracts here? End of week contracts are pretty cheap too, honestly. 460s for the end of the week, trading at 4, just below 4. Big interest, big buyers at 450. Over the OI, volume over the OI. This looks like it's in a gamma squeeze. Okay, so I think I'm gonna buy in the next week though. Still, let me put one of these on, one of these 480s on for end of next week, because the setup's so good. And I'm always fine playing far out the money for Tesla. I don't need to hit target. I just need upside move. I'm gonna put on a small position there. I got filled on that. And then if we get back test, if we get like a back test that holds the 440, I think I'm gonna be looking to buy some of the end of the week, and I would look at the 460s for end of the week. Looks like right now you don't even really need to get that back test because we're getting that nice alignment there. Okay. Yeah, so we'll watch the 15-minute here. If the 15-minute flips, it'll negate the setup. But so far, from what I've seen here, this is the start of the move, not a fake move. Because that alignment, that 1565-minute alignment, really good win rate on taking those. Really good win rate on taking those. Goldman Sachs flipped to 30 minutes. So this is actually where I could be looking to the dip on Goldman Sachs. We're still up 100% on the swing there, and I might be looking to add some for the end of the week. There's a lot of buyers here. There's a lot of maniacs at Goldman Sachs. Who the was buying the 1300s? Some psychos. Come on, today looked like it was gonna be an action-packed day, and now it's really slowing down here, man. I'm watching the back test of Goldman Sachs before I add the end of the weeks. I'm looking to see how this reacts. Still in this Apple. Apple needs to force me out. It hasn't done it. I did extend the stop a little bit because I actually want to see if it continues to hold the previous day's highs. Tesla getting the acceleration here. I took another partial on FXI for 85. They're 21%. I guess technically FXI was the largest trade I took today, not MU, but it's a swing. I was in a day trade. MU was supposed to be a day trade, but that seems to be working well here. Apple on this pop is coming back to me here. NVIDIA leading the way. That's what you want to see. Intel about to stop me out here. But not yet. Tesla moving nicely. We're up 10% on those next week contracts. I'd still like to add some for the end of the week. I'm not a hater on chasing though. Like especially over like 450, it's a full confirmation of this breakout. It'll be similar. It'll be similar to, for Discord members watching, it'll be similar to when we chased this end of day move on SPY. With how much call buying I'm seeing on Tesla here, I would not be surprised if it did some kind of crazy gamma squeeze into the end of the week. It's important to remember that the expiration this Friday is a big expiration, by the way. Major resistance from Intel here. Dude, the EMA is almost fully caught up with Baba. So now you're looking to see if you back test 140. And that could be where you want to add. Well, if our members getting excited about Tesla, it stops rallying as soon as he types. We're seeing a back test from SPY, but it's into the CMA convergence. When you get the pop to the orb high, it could look to fill the gap back to 739. I mean, I'm not opposed to. Ah, shit, I'm not getting filled. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to buy that, and it's going without me. It's already up 15%. Intel's a cut here. I did get filled on SPY. I'm looking to see if tight stop under 738 is stop. I got filled. Okay, so I did explain that position. I bought the 739s dailies on SPY for 8.7. This is also a trade you could take on futures. I'm long here, aggressively long, with the tight stop at 738. Like I wanted to just accelerate through the orb high. That NBIS idea is actually panning out here. That bull flag. I don't know why this alert is not working on GS. So if we defend this level here, might even get to give it a little bit of breathing room to the EMA. But 950 is the previous day high where you'd want to see accelerate, see the bounce. Baba tested the, or not Baba, Tesla tested the breakout and held it. So this is what we talked about: is dip buy should be aggressive with this setup. So that's kind of the confirmation that you're getting the setup you want. So it didn't need to pull all the way back to the EMA. It just pulled back to that breakout range, and now it's bouncing. So you want to see it make new highs here. I set partial on SPY calls for a buck, up 10% here. We're now over the orb high. Want to see new high a day. And honestly, you'd be looking for that 739. About to get that partial at a buck. We got our partial on SPY here for a nice 15%. I'm actually going to take a little bit more here. I think this is where I'm going to adjust to the 5-minute here. That's another partial there. I'll set another partial for 110. Nice pop. Nice pop. I don't like SPY slowing down here. I'm going to take one on 105. Got the fill there at 105. Still have some more life. I've done to half the position now. That's a nice 20%. There's an area of resistance here. We want to see a pop right through it. Goldman Sachs is literally the only. Okay, wait. There's four banks that agree. Goldman Sachs is like a far above beyond the leader. Give me this 110 exit on SPY. Come on. One more pop through here. MU actually, or Meta actually defended the back test. Oh, Google leading the way here. Oh, wow. SPY pulling back. Still in the green. I don't let scalp I never let scalps like this go in the red. So we're not using that 738 stop. Stop is break even now. All right, Tesla, give me the new high day. Slow moving market, man. Oh, dude, we're a half hour over when we usually close the live stream. Sorry, guys, I've been locked in, but I gotta head out. I gotta go to the Discord. The links in the description. Okay. So, if you want a shot at making a free $100, make sure you check out the Discord. We got the trade challenge going on, and make sure you also subscribe to the free newsletter. Just did a write up yesterday. About to do a write up today on. I think today I'm supposed to be writing about hymns. Yeah, we got to write up on hymns coming up. We got to write up on silver coming up. We got to write up on Irene coming up. So, any of those interest you, make sure you check out that newsletter. And I will talk to you guys then. All right, peace and out. SPY moving here, looking beautiful. But we got to go. Head over to the Discord if you want to trade with me.